Okay, I've just given the awl a good polish, and I think if you look carefully, you can see the sheen in the metal there. That's got quite a high polish on, and that's going to slip in and out of the leather very, very smoothly. You'll see that at work in a bit. Just going to run through very briefly the overstitch wheel. There's been a few questions. I know I prefer the pricking iron, and a few people are saying, but what about the overstitch wheel? I've got a couple of pieces of 3mm veg tan. I'm just going to mark up an edge, 6mm, and then with a 7 stitch to 1 inch pricking iron, just run a mark of stitching down there. And now we'll have a look at it in action. So here's my 2 bits of shoulder. You can see there's no holes, just the marks from the overstitch wheel. I should pop these into position. I'm going to use a pair of John James harness needles and tiger thread, which is 0.8, and my awl, nice and shiny, nice and sharp. So I'm going to make my first hole, giving the leather some good support from the back, keeping the awl horizontal and at a right angle to the leather, so that's very, very straight. And as long as I do that every time, all of my holes on the back should come out exactly the right position. So I've just centered my thread. Next hole. If you stick your elbow out, I appreciate you can't necessarily see that on the video, but my elbow is sticking out nice and wide. That's keeping my awl nice and straight, and by eye I can see that the next hole has come on at a good level. And we're going to stitch on. And as we progress, all things being equal, I should have a nice straight line. It's a little bit more work with the overstitch wheel than it is with the pricking iron. You've got to be more accurate when you're running it down your line. It's very easy to wobble and make a wavy line. And whilst you can bring it back with your stitching and your awl work, I'm sure you're all aware that veg tan marks very, very easily. With a pricking iron, just makes a straight line so much easier and so much quicker. And if you give it a reasonable thump, you've got those holes pre-marked. You don't have that luxury with the overstitch wheel, but with a good sharp polished awl, that shouldn't be too much of an issue anyway. You can see how easily this is going through 6mm of leather. I'm not rushing, I'm taking my time. It's not sticking because it's polished. It's going through fairly easy because it's sharp. It's preparation, it's the right tool for the job. There we go. One more, I think we'll do it. I hope that helps. I hope it's clear enough for you. It's just to give you a working idea of how the pricking iron differs from the overstitch wheel. You've seen the pricking iron used quite a lot. Now you've had a look at the overstitch wheel. Any questions, feel free to give us a shout. Take care, good luck.